Why nobody plays the Egyptian gods? Let's watch.
The Egyptian gods are three of Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest icons, but sadly it's no secret that they've struggled at competitive tournaments for pretty much their entire existence. In today's video, we're going to cover how the Egyptian gods work, what they do well, and also what shortcomings have prevented them from seeing tournament success throughout the years. And you might recognize that this is a remake of my biggest video ever that I posted 5 years ago. I feel like if Mortal Kombat is allowed to have 3 Mortal Kombat 1s and Call of Duty is allowed to have 2 Modern Warfare 2s, I'm allowed to remake Why Nobody Plays the Egyptian Gods 5 years later. Before we
Should we watch the... No, I think it makes sense that we watch just this one. Yeah. It would be interesting. I don't know. Theory. Why they... Like me, just thinking right now. Why they don't work? I feel like it's the tributes, right? But they have spells to support them. Are they just simply not as good? Do they need to be like... Do they need to be pendulums? And have like an extra effect or something in order to be viable? I don't know. I don't know. Well, let's see.
Jump into the individual issues of each Egyptian god. Let's
the overframes. You're right. They need overframes. That's why. That's why. That's what they are missing.
Talk about one problem that affects all three of them, their summoning condition. While this has become less of an issue with the release of many modern Egyptian god support cards, this still is one of their biggest drawbacks,
the whole thing.
and for many years it was the #1 thing holding them back. Basically, all of them share the following 3 effects. Requires 3 tributes to normal summon.
I feel like right now, like in how the game is, it should be really easy to... For example, you play Rise Seal, you just get 1 EXT, and you already have your... No, actually you don't. Okay, maybe Rise Seal is not the best example. Maybe Malice? I don't know, but there is a lot of stuff that get you 3 monsters there without your normal summon. Like in K9 Vanquish Soul, you get like 4 monsters without any normal summon. Like easily, with just 2 cards probably. I don't know.
Cannot be normal set. This card's normal summon cannot be negated, and finally, when normal summon, cards and effects cannot be activated, although in the case of Ra, it says other cards and effects because you still need to be able to use its on-summon ability. 2 of these are protection effects, and that's wonderful. There aren't too many cards that can negate normal summons besides the Solemns, but there are a lot.
Oh, you're 100% right. Yummy is like one of the best examples, I think. With Yummy, you can summon whatever instantly.
Of cards and effects that your opponent might want to activate when a god card is successfully normal summoned, so it's nice that they all do share these protection effects to hopefully make the summon a bit easier. But remember, you need these protection effects because you have to tribute 3 monsters to bring out the Egyptian gods, which is a lot more than your average monster asks. Now you might be wondering, what's the difference between tributing 3 monsters for the normal summon of an Egyptian god versus using 3 monsters for a Synchro, Xyz, or Link summon?
Because you need it in your hand!
Between the Egyptian gods and 3 material extra deck monsters is that you don't have to draw the extra deck monsters. You will never have to worry about trying to draw Trishula when you have 3 monsters on the board. It's always just sitting there in the extra deck whenever you need it. And you won't have to worry about drawing it when you don't have 3 monsters when you wouldn't be able to summon it. But with the Egyptian...
What if we turn every single Egyptian god into a Link? Is that what we need? Is that what we needed retrains of the Egyptian gods as Link monsters? How's that sound? That's good, right?
Egyptian gods, those are 2 very real situations that you could find yourself in. Now, before you get mad at me for comparing the Egyptian gods to a card from another era, note that the playable Egyptian gods were released a lot later than people seem to remember. I know that a lot of people, myself included, had the Egyptian gods with the flavor text back in the day, but the first playable Egyptian god released was Obelisk at the very end of 2010. And then in January of 2011, we got the first playable version of the Winged Dragon of Ra.
Wait, have I watched this video before? Have I watched this video before and the reaction is already much? I don't know why I'm starting to feel like I watched this video before. Am I missing something? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't know. I'm starting to think it would be so silly if I just post this and it just like happens that I already reacted to this video in particular. Divine Beast should have an inherent effect like illusion monsters do. What is the inherent effect of illusion monsters? People thinking when summoned, cards cannot be activated means forever. Good thing it doesn't, because they were multiple level 4s before them with this same line of text. Huh. And ironically, if you gave the real Egyptian gods their anime effects, they still wouldn't be meta. They'd be rogue going second strategies. I mean, that's cool still. Overframe, link 4 god cards. Yeah! They are a small enough category with a bunch of restrictions anyways. Huh. Huh. Illusion's gimmick is that they can't destroy or be destroyed by battle. And that is not in the card? That is not written in the card? I think that's written in the cards, I'm pretty sure. Or not. Am I dumb? Maybe I am.
Want to know when Trishula was released? Also in 2011. And Slifer took until 2012 to get a playable version, so Trishula really was released around the same era as these playable Egyptian god cards. Now that we've covered some of the shared abilities of the Egyptian gods, let's talk about what makes them unique, starting with the Winged Dragon of Ra. The Winged Dragon of Ra cannot be special summoned. All 3 of the Egyptian gods do have special summon restrictions, but Ra has the worst of the bunch. Several Ra specific support cards can special summon it by ignoring its summoning conditions, but this definitely hurts Ra from a generic support standpoint, because you can't just use cards like Call of the Haunted to bring it back.
Didn't Marek use Monster Reborn on this in the anime? So this is a restriction that wasn't in the anime? Obelisk and Ra will be the coolest going second cards ever, to be honest. Anime Ra can do infinite attacks if you sacrifice. It's only until 100 here, right? Yeah.
This card is normal summon. You can pay life points so that you only have 100 left. This card gains attack and defense equal to the amount of life points paid. Now I know this effect has confused people in the past, so I do want to make one thing absolutely clear. The can in this effect refers to your choice to activate it, not your choice in how many life points are paid. The effect itself is optional, but if you decide to use it, you're always putting yourself to 100 life points. Ra's last effect is you can pay 1000 life points, then target one monster on the field, destroy that target. This effect is pretty straightforward, but notably it's not a once per turn
that's what I was gonna say.
As long as you have the life points to pay, you're allowed to keep activating it over and over again. The Winged Dragon of Ra has been a glass cannon since day one. While it's great that your opponent can't directly respond to its normal summon, they're still free to use quick effects when there's an open game state after that resolves. Ra is great at dodging cards like Torrential Tribute, but it's powerless against even basic interruptions like Regeki Break. And I've never been a big fan of the Destruction effect either. While a non-once per turn pop or 1000 life points is fantastic, having it stuck on a 3 tribute monster is pretty awkward. Not to mention that
yeah, and that's what they made a card that says you can summon Ra with Monster Reborn. Oh, they didn't make a special Monster Reborn. They made a you can summon Ra with Monster Reborn. Funny.
that if you don't pay life points to give Ra attacks that you have life points to pop cards, you're stuck with a 0 attack Ra. At that point, just play Regeki or Dark Hole. It's worth mentioning though that Konami has thrown quite a lot of support towards Ra over the last couple of years in an attempt to make it somewhat playable. Many of those cards were even deliberately designed to solve some of these issues that I'm talking about too. You can make Ra unaffected by card effects,
I'm
so
not reading that.
To removal. You can give Ra attack points based on what monsters you tributed so that the popping effect isn't attached to a 0 attack monster, and there's a bunch of consistency boosting cards to help you assemble the correct combo pieces early on. Sadly, even with all the support that Ra has gotten over the past 5 years, it hasn't really been able to be competitively successful. It's still a fun glass cannon deck and Ra sphere mode is pretty good, but most of the actual Ra combos take too many cards for not enough payoff. Let's take a look at what unique effects.
So how do we fix Ra? It's just so silly. It's just such a silly card. Do you think if it was a Link 3 would be better? Is it better? It's a bit stick. It's a bit stick. Yeah. I don't know.
Obelisk has though. Once per turn during the end phase, if this card was special summoned, send it to the graveyard. Obelisk and Slifer both share this downside, and while it's not as bad as Ra's, it's definitely not ideal. Neither player can target this card with card effects. This is without a doubt the best effect on Obelisk. Modern monster cards have a variety of other protection effects, and protection effects in general are a lot more common. But by 2011 standards, this was a pretty annoying effect, especially on Obelisk, a 4000 attack point monster, so if you wanted to play Obelisk, this was the big selling point. Finally, you contribute 2 monsters, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. This card
this sounds way better than Ra, even with less attack.
cannot declare an attack the turn this effect is activated. This flashy anime effect unfortunately didn't translate that well to the TCG. There are better ways at clearing the board than summoning a 3 tribute monster and then tributing another 2 monsters. They eventually released a spell card that directly—
Wait, this cannot declare attack. Okay, I spoke too soon. I don't think this is... I still think it's better, but I don't think it's way better. The card you can special Ra with Monster Reborn is called Millennium Revelation, where you can dump Ra to the grave to add Monster Reborn from your grave. That sounds so dumb, but also so cool at the same time. That's, oh my god, what a card. I can't believe that exists. Oh my god. Has someone ever won Millennium by drawing Exodia? Yeah, I've seen it. I'm pretty sure we've seen it in a replay.
benefits from this effect being used, but even in that case, it's still not worth it. The main thing holding Obelisk back is that it just doesn't do enough. It's 4,000 attack and it can't be targeted, but that's about it. That means that its value is entirely dependent on how strong a non-targetable 4,000 attack monster is in that format. And unfortunately for Obelisk, even in that category, it has tough competition. Every time we get a new card like Cliffort Towers or Rival Adignister, Obelisk looks even worse by comparison. These
Excuse me, Link 6? I've never seen this card. What the hell? I've never seen anyone use this card.
Better summoning conditions, better protection effects, and better on-field abilities. And I think for this reason, Obelisk has really struggled in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Ra might be a lot worse on paper compared to Obelisk, but because it's gotten 10 plus support cards, it's a lot easier to play as an actual deck.
That makes sense.
Said, I did want to acknowledge that in the early 2010s, Obelisk did pop up every once in a while in Frog decks as a one-of in main decks, or in Dragon Ruler decks as a one-of in side decks. In the Dragon Ruler mirror match, it was a pretty interesting tech option because Dracosack could summon 2 tokens really easily, and then you could tribute the 2 tokens and the Dracosack for Obelisk, and in the mirror it was really hard to deal with because you couldn't use Big Eye or Dracosack to remove it. Obelisk—
Imagine the aura of summoning Obelisk, that Tormentor. Right now, if I'm playing Masterduel and I just see someone summoning an Egyptian god, I'm like, oh, this guy's trolling. Oh, this guy's trolling. This guy's just an anime fan playing the game. Yeah. Sir, they hit the second Obelisk. No.
It wasn't popular in those formats and it wasn't a standard option for those decks, but it did pop up a couple times and I wanted to mention it. Hopefully Konami throws Obelisk a few more cards in the future, but until then it's unlikely to perform well at events.
Okay, you're 100% right, Kobayashi. It should feel like that, right? That summoning an Egyptian god should feel like summoning Liger Dancer. When someone summons Liger Dancer, I do like I cover my face with my hands. I go back like the lawyer from Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't remember his name. And I'm like, ah. Now the whole next turn, it's all about how do I get rid of this thing. That not like it's impossible, isn't affected. I need to kill it with something with more attack. But it can also wipe my whole board whenever they want. That's what an Egyptian god should feel like, honestly. Yeah.
Finally, that brings us to Slifer the Sky Dragon, which happens to be my favorite Egyptian god card. This one says, once per turn during the end phase, if this card was special summoned, send it to the graveyard. This is the same drawback as Obelisk the Tormentor, and it has the same problems as that. It is cool that you can bring it back for at least one turn, but it won't stick around forever, and that definitely hurts, because it means that you're going to want to tribute summon the Slifer the Sky Dragon properly if you want to keep it around. Gains 1,000 attack and defense for each card in your hand. 1,000 was pretty much set in stone by the anime, but I think it scales decently well in the TCG. In my mind, Slifer is usually okay as long as it has at least 2,000 attack points, but it's cool that you can boost it to an insane number if you really want to go for an OTK. If a monster is normal or special summoned to your opponent's field in attack position, that monster loses 2,000 attack, then if its attack has been reduced to 0 as a result, destroy it.
Dude, this thing is insane. This thing is insane. Like, that's a flute gate, right? It's basically a flute gate. When I was playing Noelle and Sky Striker in the event, and someone just started with a Slifer, I'm like, yeah, I guess I cannot summon monsters. I guess if I didn't draw like an out for this, I'd lose.
opinion, this is the best effect on any of the Egyptian god cards. It's not an unbeatable floodgate because it doesn't negate the monster's effects, and also your opponent can still just summon things in defense mode to play around it, but realistically, it's a decent floodgate against a variety of matchups. It also got even better with the release of Link monsters because those can't be summoned in defense mode, so they're always going to be destroyed by the Slifer if they have 2000 or less attack. Perhaps the biggest downside of Slifer is that it has no protection effects. It's cool against opposing engine cards if your opponent is just throwing a bunch of monsters at it, but it immediately crumbles against virtually any generic spell card.
I just happen to never do them.
Dark Hole or Triple Tactics Talent. Not to mention that nowadays a lot of monster cards have graveyard effects, which Slifer isn't very good against. Another drawback that it has is that many of the combos that summon Slifer take a lot of the cards out of your hand. Both Obelisk and Ra don't really care about you having card advantage, but Slifer demands it if you want to give it attack points. The goal for Slifer players has always been trying to figure out the most consistent way to bring out Slifer while using the least amount of cards, but sometimes that's easier said than done. Konami did give Slifer one insanely powerful normal trap card that's seen some experimentation in branded decks, but even with that trap, Slifer still hasn't made any impact at tournaments. The Egyptian god cards are awesome, iconic monsters that all suffer from a few major drawbacks. While I appreciate Konami giving these cards support every so often, I also think it'd be cool to finally give them extra deck monster retrains. One of the biggest reasons that these cards haven't been successful is simply that they're 3 tribute main deck monsters. Building an entire main deck around Egyptian gods has always been a challenge, but it might be nice to see them get retrains as big extra deck finishers. Maybe that's a little bit too out there though, I'm just kind of wishful thinking here. At the very least, I'd like to see some Obelisk support that maybe doesn't suck as much. That being said, if you do want to learn more about the Egyptian god support that has been released, just a few months ago I made a video covering every single piece of Egyptian god support. Make sure to check that out, I'll link it at the end of this video.
No, I guess we're watching that.
Thanks so much for watching, goodbye.
No, yeah, definitely. Okay, now that the more I think about it, yeah, the overframe retrains for the Egyptian gods is definitely happening. I see no way that that's not happening. Now, how long is it gonna take? I don't know, but that's gonna happen. Oh, that's crazy. I wonder how they're gonna fix them exactly, because they need to make the previous support also like work with them, right? The previous support should also work with them. So how will they implement that, right? In basically new cards, because now that they are making retrains for every single anime card, like they are obviously gonna do it with Egyptian gods. Or even more, right? No, it will be like a replacement for Ra, right? And you can still play the same support, but the boss monster now is the new Ra. What is Ra called? Hold on, what is it called? The Winged Dragon of Ra is gonna be called the Winged Dragon of Ra. The dragon with wings. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be called. And it's gonna be called something like that, right? Like Slifer is gonna be called something like Slifer, the Sky Dragon, the dragon from the sky, and Obelisk the Tormentor. Tormentor the Obelisk. Yes. The Ultra Mega Chicken. Yeah, I saw it's gonna be called something like that, and they're gonna have like insane effects. The Winged Dragon of Ra, God of the Sun. Okay, you won. Okay, you won. It's like for the Sky Dragon, God of Sky. Yeah, okay. I like how this sounds. It's like for the Sky Striker Dragon. Always the Tormentor, God of something. Sounds like a god of strength or something like that. I don't know. Or their names with their attacks names like the other retrains. Ah, that's also interesting. That's also a good one. All right, chat. I need you. I need this in the comments. What are the retrains gonna be called? Oh, you can also tell me about the effects, right? But I'm now more curious about the names, because I am sure there are anime references that you can put in the names to make them look really cool. Yeah, I can already see it. I can already see like Obelix like punching, and the fist is already outside of the frame and stuff like that, right? Like Slifer is gonna look so big. And I don't know about Ra, but yeah, it's probably gonna be something cool like that. Yeah, let me know in the comments, and thank you for the video. Yeah, I'm just really liking this. Thank you.